So one of the things you have to be good at, which is, I'd say, the first step is know the best time to call. Typically, in the industry globally, they have said that the best time to do what we call a prospect or cold calling is anywhere between 4 to 5 p.m.
Have you ever tried to get a sale over the phone? It's really hard because people can't see and experience you, but there are ways and there are strategies that you can implement to close that sale even from a distance. My guest today is Executive Chairman at TGL Group, Duane Lue Fung. He joins us for this episode of Money Moves JA, brought to you in partnership with EXIM Bank's Business Advisory Service, giving you the tools to grow your business. Hi, Duane. Welcome back.
Hi, Kalila. How are you?
I am great. So this topic is an asking for myself type of topic, and it's a very interesting one. We're talking about telesales. How do we get sales over the phone? It's probably a lot different than in person because they can't see you, especially if you're making a cold call. But you are one of the go-to experts on sales. So how do we do it, Duane? How do we structure our approach when we're on the telephone with somebody?
Boy, they should give you a medal for this topic today. I think a lot of people that are in sales and have been in sales for years have struggled with this. Albeit, Kalila, is not the best way to sell, but in some industries, it's the only way to sell. When it comes on to telephone sales, it's really a powerful way and a powerful tool in terms of lining up and closing sales. Sometimes even whether you're initiating that contact with a new lead, making a cold call, following up with a prospect, knowing how to do this effectively can really make you a lot of money. And some people really have mastered it and they're extremely good at it.
Right. So how is it different from that in-person sale?
Most times when you're talking about how do you close somebody, and the close meaning how do you exchange that in terms of when you exchange the product benefit, the features, the value, and they exchange that money, the money, that's what you're looking for. I mean, what makes it happen? It happens typically when you engage people, when you develop a rapport, when you build a relationship. What we have found is that typically it's extremely hard to do that over the phone. It takes a different strategy, takes a level of skill, takes a level of artistry to get people to connect with you over the phone. And that's why they say that phone sales usually is the hardest way to sell. So people that master it, you really have to give them kudos because it's not easy. People are rushing you off the phone. They want to go. They have no connection. They can't see. They don't know who you are. And typically, I can tell you, Kalila, most times when people buy from you, it's because you connect with them in such a way and you find what we call their compelling reason. Compelling reason means there's always that emotional reason why people buy. And if you can find that hot button very quickly, you're good.
So how do we set ourselves up for success on the phone?
There are a couple of techniques. I can tell you, maybe up to 50. I'm going to share 10 quick, like go-to techniques for what we call telephone sales technique. The first thing that I'm going to say to anyone listening is, which is by itself sounds very, like, oh, this can't be so important, but it is maybe one of the most important thing. You have to know the best time to call. And if you even think of yourself, and when you get that phone call, Kalila, sometimes when they call you too early in the morning and you're just kind of catching your bearings and you're just kind of, you have so much things on your to-do list. The last thing you want to hear is somebody calling you at 9 and 10 o'clock trying to sell you something. So sometimes it seems more aggravating and it seems like an interruption. So one of the things you have to be good at, which is, I'd say, the first step is know the best time to call. Typically, in the industry globally, they have said that the best time to do what we call a prospect or cold calling is anywhere between 4 to 5 p.m.
Really? So that's where we went wrong because I thought it was morning. I thought by 4 or 5 people winding down, they're trying to leave work. They don't want to hear any of that.
But think about it. When I call you at 9, Aren't you like really just getting ready to go? Like you are, you have your to-do list in front of you.
True.
You have all these administrative things. So it seems most times, and think about it, most times that call can feel like an interruption. Am I right? Like this person's
True.
just interrupting the start of my day. So if you think about it logically, when my day is done, when I feel like my day is like, coming to an end, when I've wound up everything and you call me at 3, 4, it doesn't feel like an interruption anymore. I am more open to taking that call. I'm more open to having that conversation because I am maybe at the maybe 8 of my things to do 10 list. So I'm okay. So if you think about it, that I think makes sense, knowing when is the best
Okay.
time to
4 to
call.
5. Noted. Taking down the
Four to
notes.
five.
What
Yes,
what's
please.
number 2? So first one, knowing the best time to call. Second strategy.
Set a calling goal. And let me tell you why this is important. Make sure you figure out exactly what you want to achieve on this call before you take the phone up. I'll give an example. Maybe, Kalila, your team is calling to just introduce the company. That's a strategy. Maybe you're calling to get a better understanding of the prospect and what they do on their business, and how you can be of value to them. Maybe you want to find out what is involved in their buying decision. Maybe the call is really just to set an appointment to follow up for a conversation. So maybe you're not even calling to sell, but you're calling to book a meeting. So the key is set a calling goal. Don't just go on the phone and randomly just try to wing it. While the customers, remember, the first thing is that the customer really doesn't, the prospect, I should say, really doesn't have a lot of time. Your job is like the Navy SEAL, to go in quickly and to come out, in and out, fast, effective, efficient. So you can't be there mumbling, struggling, trying to figure out what this call is going to be about. You have to have a goal. You have to have an ideal outcome. You have to have an agenda. You want to learn the details about the person you're planning to contact. You have to be ready. Have the person's name. Don't go there and trying to ask the name before, know the job title and the role, understand what the company does, do your research in advance, and don't go there trying to figure it out because you seem unprepared. There's a lack of what we call engagement when you are not prepared, and you don't have a call goal. Does that make sense?
Makes sense, yes. So number 3, Duane.
Number 3 is, and it's so funny because every time I speak about this one, it seems so unassuming, but it's important. Be prepared to go to a voicemail. And people say, but Dwayne, why? And I'm saying, but think about it. A lot of the times you call people, you have to make sometimes 3, 4, 5, 6 calls to get through to the person. So if you're not prepared to leave a voice message, you won't be able to navigate that conversation the way you want to navigate it, which means that also have what we call a voice message script. And people always ask me, but what do you mean you need a voice message script? Well, if you're going to go to voicemail and people still do check voicemails, leave one that is a little bit more succinct, make it memorable so you can connect with your lead. So be prepared to leave a voice message. Sometimes just a little humor, leave something that the person on the other line will want to call you back because of just how you sound and what you say and how humorous you are. Have some enthusiasm in it. So be prepared to go to voicemail. That's 3. 4, and this is so important, make your introduction count. Say it again. Make your introduction count. The reason why that's so important, and in our sales school, which is so important to us, we are part of what we call the prospecting module, initiation module. We speak a lot about something called a positioning statement. A positioning statement, Kalila, is extremely important because in every part of life, typically the first 30 second or the 10 second or the 20 second that a guy gets to talk to Kalila, right there and then, if the 30 second is not good, you're in your head saying, should I give him another 30 seconds or should I give him another minute of my time? Because if you flop the first
Before
30,
he
like,
said, before he just dropped the line, sorry, I have to go.
Yes, yes, yes. So I'm saying sales mimic life, and it's just true. Like if the game not good the first 30 seconds, I don't want to hear anything else. But if you come with some humor, if you come with something memorable, the way you introduce yourself is just unusual. If it's just like, wow, I've never heard this line before, it's really good, you know? If it makes you even smile. So really what happens on the phone is the same thing. Like people don't have a lot of time. They're ready to usher you off the phone. They want to get you off very quickly. So they always say that you may not get a lot of time to make a first good impression. So you really have to connect quickly. And that's the key, you know. How quickly can I connect during that call introduction? So one of the things you want to do is always address your prospect by name. Like, you know, hi Kalila, this is Duane Lue Fung. Like, I don't want to just say, hi, and how are you? Who am I speaking with? Dead in the water. Like, I want to know who you are. I want to get your name. And immediately what you want to do is to move to the reason for your call. The number one radio station that people listen to on the planet, and I can tell you, is WIIFM. People want to know very quickly, what is in it for me? Fast. What is in it for me? So if you do not get to that very quickly, why should I listen to you? What is in it for me to not hang the phone up? You have to be very quick. Follow up with a couple of easy answers and get some questions, some open-ended questions that can get them.
I just catch WIIFM. I thought it was a
Yes.
real radio station.
WIIFM. It's the most
What is
listened
in
to
it
radio
for me?
station
All right,
on the planet.
WIIFM. That's a good one.
Yes, everybody has that. When you meet people, when people are, you know, every conversation, somebody is saying, "What is in this for me?" And it's
Yes.
true. It's
I used to have a show
you.
named that too. What's in it for me? Yeah.
Yes, yeah. I give it that one. I need nothing from that one, but yeah, you can take it. But it's true. And one of the things that we tend to stray from when we're in this early call, focus on the prospect and not yourself and not your product. You're not selling products yet. Some people go into the product selling too fast and pretty quickly. They're going for the kill right away, and there's no warm up, there's no foreplay, there's no interaction, there's no connection. Remember, when you meet a prospect, there's one job that you have to be extremely good at, and that's it. If you can master this, I tell you, sales is easy for you, and it is. Your number one job is to lower your prospect's resistance. That's all. Lower resistance, because you think about it, Kalila, when someone calls you and they're trying to sell you, you automatically have a what? Resistance.
Yes,
Your
that's
arms are
true.
folded like this. You're like, where more now? So if I can get you to move from this to like this, I'm telling you, like I'm good. I understand, because I've found a way to lower your resistance. So that is why it's very important to make the introduction count. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
All right.
All right,
Where
so we
am I?
have time
Number
for one more, Duane. Number 5.
Number 5. Use the script for better time management. And it's very important to have a script. Many professionals I know, our company have been tasked literally by a lot of major organizations just to write sales script for them. It's a big deal, because what you find is that when you come with a script, it makes you more efficient, it makes you more effective, and you have better control over the sales conversation. It will help you to present yourself more confidently. You sound like you know what you're doing. You sound like you are prepared. So you're not all over the place. You're asking specific questions that's eliciting the answers that will help you to go and close the sale. So the key is you want to have a script. And if there's one thing I want you to take away from this conversation, Kalila, is get a script. It's very important. Know exactly what you're going to say, how you're going to say it, and it helps you to be more efficient and effective. And I said earlier, like a Navy SEAL, you go in and come out and you're effective and efficient.
So good. Thank you so much, Duane. I'm going to keep those things in mind. Be a Navy SEAL, in and out, and WIIFM, number one radio station in the world. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Always a pleasure being on your show.
Here's a recap of Duane's key points. Know when it's the best time to call. The ideal time to call is between the hours of 4 to 5 p.m. Make sure you know what you want to achieve before you call. Be prepared to go to a voicemail. Make your introduction count.
That's it for this episode of Money Moves JA, brought to you in partnership with EXIM Bank's Business Advisory Service, giving you the tools to grow your business. I'm Kalila Reynolds. You can visit my website, KalilaReynolds.com, for a full summary of this episode, and visit EXIMBankJA.com. See you next time.